Welcome, everyone. We are super excited to have you all here today with us. I am Svetlana Georgieva, the CEO of DesignMorphine, and I have today with me my partners, Dr. Pavlina Vardulaki-Pryor and Michael Pryor. Today we'll start with presentation focus on DesignMorphine's mission and specifically on our Master of Science and Professional programs. The future of design is no longer confined to a single discipline. At DesignMorphine, our mission is to democratize advanced design education, break down traditional boundaries between fields, and empower designers with the tools, methodologies, and mindset needed to thrive in an era of rapid technological advancement. We are not just teaching software, we are cultivating a new generation of creative leaders capable of shaping the future of design. Our mission of DesignMorphine started in 2014 with a simple idea to connect design, technology, and people across borders. Over the past 12 years, we have grown into a global network reaching over 250,000 creatives across 84 countries through hundreds of events, workshops, educational programs. But most importantly, this is not just about numbers. DesignMorphine's community of professionals comprised of architects, designers, innovators who actively practice what they teach. This allows us to stay directly connected to industry evolution while shaping education in real time. Today, we operate in the intersection of academia and practice, collaborating with leading experts and organizations to push design forward across multiple disciplines. Our focus is developing an experimental, interdisciplinary design mindset driven by innovation. We challenge students to think critically, explore unique workflows, and push boundaries across scales from product design to architecture to engineering systems. The work shown here includes examples from our workshops reflecting the creative and technical ambition of our community. Many of our students have gone to join leading companies and universities after their workshops with us. Beyond education, our community's impact spans across multiple fields, including architecture, gaming, product design, fashion, transportation, digital art, engineering, and others. We collaborate with industry partners including Harvard, Microsoft, Wow the World, Artur Tedeschi, Anouk Wipprecht, and others. These collaborations allows us to bring real-world challenges into our educational environment, giving our students direct exposure to current industry workflows and expectations. This connection between education and industry ensures that what we teach is always relevant, forward-thinking, and applied.
Buckminster Fuller once said that the best way to predict the future is to design it. And this idea sits at the core of everything we do at DesignMorphine. We don't just see design as response to the world, we see it as a tool to shape what comes next. We created two program formats built at the same core philosophy, but designed for different levels of commitment. On the one side, we have our established Master of Science program, which is a 9-month, 60 ECTS academic credits program with 5 chapters and 5 labs, whose preliminary application is active and the start date is still to be determined. And on the other side, we offer the new professional diploma in computationally augmented design. This is a 6-month professional diploma with 3 chapters and 3 labs. And this is a more compact format. Both programs are fully online and structured around chapters and labs focused on hands-on experimentation. They share the same DNA, the same tools and mindset, as well as community. They're just different levels of commitment. Our ProCAD students might be considered also for future transition into the Master of Science program if the pathway is available and all university eligibility criteria are met. This is something that we've gotten as question multiple times, so we wanted to make sure that we have a note of that. The distinctiveness of the programs lies on several key elements. Everything we've shown so far comes together in this idea of a program that really masters the future. It's built around several key principles. Working across multiple industries is absolutely vital for us. Exploring architecture, design, art, engineering through the same unified design lens through computation. This allows our students to stay flexible and adaptable in a rapidly changing world. And freedom of choice was the reason we created this program, because this is what personally allowed us to grow, evolve, and break boundaries. And this is what we want for our students and our community. Mastering advanced emerging technologies with a curriculum that is updated in real time whenever some major new tools or workflows emerge, from computational design to AI and systems thinking, understanding not just separate objects, but relationships and larger ecosystems. And this is really the mindset of the future and where technology and design is going next. One of DesignMorphine's strengths is teaching these tools even to students who begin with little to no previous experience. Seamless access. It is an online educational experience. The program allows students to join from anywhere in the world without relocation or major additional expenses, while receiving access to some of the most influential mentors in the fields of design. We have multiple layers of guidance, reviews, educators, and community support through a rare, really 24/7 support system. Creating a truly transformational learning experience is something, again, that is very important to us. Students don't just gain new skills, they shift the way they think, work, and position themselves as designers. Our pedagogical model cannot be found anywhere else. It's rooted in years of research into how people absorb complex information, beginning with my mother's PhD on children with learning disabilities and later continuing through my own PhD research in design education and computational learning. Gaining access to an engaged global community during the program, students learn from over 30 educators and mentors, real-life professional experience from the best really companies and universities in the world. All of our chapters, presentations, we include our community. Many alumni won recognition for their work in the program, launched their own studios, or are now part of some really amazing leading companies and are making a difference. Like Zaha Hadid Architects, Big, Ubisoft, DNEG, Philips, Nike, and others. And we have some of our alumni here today, and we're very excited to hear about like how they're progressing after the program. And finally, DesignMorphine is really future-oriented community. We stay connected with our alumni, continue working together with some of them in new ways beyond the program, and also keep in touch through a Discord channel where we continuously post about opportunities and answer questions. All of this ensures that what the students really learn here, it's not only relevant today, but truly future-oriented. Both programs are organized through a unique chapter-based structure designed to make highly complex technical material clear, focused, and achievable. The Master of Science unfolds over 9 months through 5 leading design chapters and 5 supporting technical labs. Each chapter runs for around 6 weeks, while each lab runs for 1 week, creating a rhythm of deep design exploration supported by concentrated technical learning. The ProCAD program shares 3 of the same chapters and 3 labs, plus the same optional ones. I'll get into more detail in a moment, offering a more concentrated version of the experience while following the same the educational methodology. The manifesto of the program, it's about human design and how human design has always begun with the body, its limits, senses, and perception. And today, technology lets us move beyond extending the mind to reimagining the body itself. And by redesigning this core unit of reality, we transform housing, mobility, cities, and systems. It's not just design, it's pure cosmogony. And that's how these chapters really are running one after the other. They're interconnected, the logics, the language, the ideas behind them. They connect each one of them into one holistic story and one, interconnected educational experience. Start with chapter 1, which is the first chapter of the master's, is the chapter which explores the body and its technological future through prosthetics, cyborgs, exoskeletons, and augmented beings. Students develop a speculative hybrid creature through research, reference images with AI and mesh modeling, learning sculpting, subdivision deformations, and hard and soft surface techniques. In chapter 2, Corpuscle is the second chapter, which explores the living environments required by the body developed in chapter 1. Students design adaptable habitats that respond to mobility, ephemerality, and transformation using mesh modeling, parametric systems, self-assembly, and modulation to create prototype living units for a speculative future city. Chapter 3, Kinesis, is the third chapter that is now focused on mobility, infrastructure, and transportation systems within the speculative world. Students design vehicles and mobility networks using procedural design, smart particle systems, and rigged kinematic systems to simulate movement, flow, interaction, and dynamic connections across the urban ecosystem. It's important to note that, as you've seen, the previous 3 chapters apply for both the Master of Science and the Pro programs, while chapter 4 and 5 explore a larger architectural and urban scale and are exclusive to the Master of Science program only. So going into chapter 4, Amalgamation, this is the 4th chapter, which explores aggregation and community formation. Students combine the living units from chapter 2 and the mobility systems from chapter 3 into modular clusters, designing both the final community and its automated assembly system to understand how bodies, dwellings, and cohabitation shape the future of urban environments. The last chapter, which brings everything together, it is Cosmogony. It is another exclusive to the Master of Science program. This 5th chapter expands to the scale of the city. Students design sustainable urban systems for their augmented beings using biomimetic growth, biology, and computation to explore scalability, adaptability, and creating dynamic urban maps that define how their speculative world evolves. Now, moving on to the labs. The labs really act as catalysts of progress. They're strategically positioned to boost performance during the chapter's challenge. They're only 1 week long, but vital to the educational process. We're starting with the first lab in the master's is AI, artificial intelligence. The program begins with this AI lab, which acts as a cohesive tissue across all chapters. Students use AI to build narrative, generate images, videos, 3D models, and custom tools, and creating a strong conceptual foundation that guides their design story. Beyond that, students will be introduced to vibe coding for the first time this year. And this has been something that it's been evolving really from the first year. The first year we didn't have AI like really available to us in the same sense and logic that like we're following now. And with each year, we're following all the updates and what is really relevant and what is really a superpower that our students can use in order really to make their projects stronger and learn more about AI. So again, this is something that it's really a lab that is work in progress and really changes dramatically every month with the changes of AI. The next lab, visualization, teaches students how to present their projects through high quality CGI imagery. They learn rendering, lighting, materials, composition, and post-production. Then use AI overlays and animation tools to enhance images, create new visuals, and bring their design stories to life. Prototype introduces students to digital fabrication and 3D printing. They learn to prepare models and produce physical prototypes, transforming digital concepts into fabricatable objects that connect design thinking with real production methods. There is no expectation of 3D printing of the actual models, but we are learning how to go through all these processes and how to manipulate the geometries in order to 3D print them. And if there are opportunities for exhibitions where it's somebody has like 3D printers in their own home, then they can print them. The robotics lab is something that it's again exclusive to the Master of Science program. With the VR lab, and the robotic lab introduces students to computational programming, microcontrollers, and swarm robotics. The design, build, and program small robots that respond to rules, sensors, environmental conditions, exploring movement, sound, light, behavior, and the relationship between human, machine, and nature-inspired systems. And this is the only part in the program where students need to obtain the materials to build their robots at home. And this is our students' pets' favorite part. And cats and dogs are quite puzzled when they're meeting their robo friends. And the virtual reality, another exclusive for the Master of Science program. The virtual reality lab teaches students to transform their projects into immersive real-time experiences using game engines, cinematic workflows, and interactive media. They create animations, videos, and VR environments that bring together all program assets into one cohesive visual narrative. AI will be a major game changer in this space this year as well. And we have one project spotlight today, like Contradictory Symbiosis by Ryan Leung and Kong Amorn Parasin, which was exhibited in Chicago Biennale 2023, and it was published by Design and Parametric Architecture. Contradictory Symbiosis is physiological thriller set in a dystopian world controlled by a cybernetic regime that disguises power as reciprocity, and the project explores how emotions can be manipulated as tools of control within a surveilled society, questioning autonomy, consent, and the future of human identity. And through this narrative, it reflects on the dangers of unchecked technology and the invisible system that shape human behavior. And across the 5 chapters, as you can see, like the narrative and how it unfolds across the 5 chapters, the project unfolds as one connected story. Each chapter introduces a new layer of the world, beginning with the body, then expanding into architecture, urban systems, mobility, and finally an entire post-human society. Ideas flow from one chapter to the next, allowing students to build a cohesive and powerful narrative where biology, technology, emotion, infrastructure, and environment come together to bring a future world to life. Now on to the optional labs of the masters, which are also optional labs for the pro program, Career Blueprint. This is an optional lab that focuses on how our students position themselves beyond the program and translate their work into real professional opportunities through portfolio development, personal branding, and presentation strategies. Students learn how to define their voice and communicate their value within a global creative market. They're guided in curating their projects, articulating their ideas clearly, and approaching interviews, applications, and professional conversations with confidence and direction. And the last lab, which is where we actually get to meet in real life beyond graduation, is the industry partnership. Industry partnership is really an opportunity to collaborate across disciplines, understand real production pipelines, and develop solutions that consider scalability and impact. Students are challenged with real-world design challenges, and over the years, DesignMorphine has collaborated with global partners, including Microsoft, Pininfarina, and Logitech, creating opportunities, sorry, that have taken us to New York, Ireland, and Italy. And this makes the lab a powerful addition to the student experience, connecting balanced learning with real industry exposure. So for both, these optional labs are accessible to both pathways, the Master of Science and the Pro. And I'll just go through a couple of our experiences with the students through these industry partnerships. In Microsoft in New York, the DesignMorphine students were invited to the Microsoft Garage for a one-week hackathon exploring urban data through computational design. Working with our Microsoft partners, they analyzed hidden layers of the city, transformed data into visual narratives, and presented new ways of understanding and designing the urban environment. That was the first time we collaborated with Microsoft, and it was a very exciting space and time because again, like the learnings of the program were applied into something outside of the immediate like computational design space where people would think that that's something that it's not part of the program or like what our students like are learning, but they were so amazing into really like utilizing their systems thinking and applying it into that specific space. We continued working with Microsoft, and the following year, DesignMorphine was invited to the 2023 Microsoft Global Hackathon as one of the only external partners contributing to a proposal for Microsoft CEO. And together with Microsoft experts and global students, the team developed Meetopia, an experimental Teams experience combining virtual spaces, AI, and future-focused digital collaboration. Very, very exciting project. Like it was, again, like that's an annual hackathon that happens throughout like the globe for all Microsoft employees each September. And we were really excited and honored really to be part of this endeavor with a couple of our students. Pininfarina also is basically the legendary Italian design house behind iconic Ferrari designs, and they are amazing partners of DesignMorphine. They invited our students to their headquarters for an industry workshop working across vehicles, product, and architecture. Students collaborated closely with Pininfarina professionals, received feedback from their senior leadership, and presented an ambitious proposal addressing real global design challenges. Also, our students took part of the Biennale of 2023, Chicago Architectural Biennale, and DesignMorphine students presented their work for the program, appearing as avatars in the metaverse. They explored links between physical cities and digital realities, gaining visibility in a global architectural forum and testing new formats of presentation and disclosure. That was really fun to see everyone with their avatars there. And another amazing, really collaboration we've had over the years from just really when we started Our students were invited to Logitech's Ireland headquarters for a product design workshop. They explored Logitech's design and manufacturing processes, developed product concepts with Logitech designers, and experienced work through guided visits, gaining direct insight to global product design workflows and translating their ideas into industry-level proposals. That's really amazing insight into how the company operates. And I think the most fun part, graduation, is where our global community comes together in person and to celebrate the journey, the work, the friendships, and everything that comes next. And graduation has become really the most fun part of the program. And I can't wait until we gather again in Sofia. Like that's really like such an amazing city, like to explore. And it's just such an amazing time, like always, like with everyone. And on to what the students are up to next after the program, like in the career section of the presentation, our program really open pathways across the really wide range of industries. And because it is a global program, again, there are different opportunities like for our students across the globe. Our alumni go to work in architecture, engineering, product design, fashion, gaming, visual effects and advanced fabrication, as well as art installations and experimental design. So as you can see that it's a very big scope of like what really our alumni are doing after the program. It's so exciting for us to see that. And you'll find them really in leading studios, global companies, and innovative startups, but also in academia and research. And companies like Zaha Hadid, Adidas, Philips, Nike, DNAG is one of the top VFX studios behind Dune, Blade Runner, 2049, Inception, Interstellar. Ubisoft is the developer of Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, Watch Dogs, and many more. And what really connects all these paths is not a single role, but a shared mindset, the ability to work across disciplines, adapt to new technologies, and operate at the intersection of design, computation, and innovation. And this flexibility is what allows our alumni to navigate and shape an evolving professional landscape. DesignMorphine's Master of Science has been recognized among the top 10 master's program worldwide in advanced architecture and computational design by parametric architecture. And its student work has also been featured on leading global platforms such as Design, highlighting the program's focus on multidisciplinary innovation, advanced technologies, and future-facing design practice. And this, Instagram is where you find us and all social media to stay connected with the program and follow future events and updates. Follow us on Instagram and across our social media channels. We have all our webinars now are free, which is something that we really wanted to achieve for a very long time. We're very excited for this. So there is so many learning opportunities, and we also have archive of so many previous webinars that you can access now. But also any updates about the programs, like we always share here the work of our students, like it's always like a great place really to keep a pulse of what is going on with DesignMorphine. And if you're curious to learn more about the program and would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, please don't hesitate to book a time on my calendar. I personally find these conversations incredibly inspiring. They help me better understand the needs, ambitions, and really questions of our community, and they play a vital role in how we continue to shape the future of the program. So this is really my favorite part of the week, where I get to hear your voices, your opinions, and your needs, and that really makes a difference. And just like to sum up the presentation, Design Morphing is about preparing designers for the world that is changing very quickly, in a world where disciplines are becoming more connected, technologies are evolving, and adaptability is really becoming one of the most important skills. Our goal is to empower the leaders of tomorrow with the confidence to shape their own direction, build across industries, and become part of a global community that continues to support them long after the program ends. So thank you guys for sticking with us through this portion of the open day. We'll move into Michael Pryor, who is going to share a little bit more of the insights of the program and how it works day to day. Again, like if you have any questions, like drop them for now, like in the chat, and we'll have a, longer conversation after we also like talk to our alumni and see how they're doing. Thank you guys.
Hello. Okay, so I want to go a bit over like the program from a more practical point of view, in terms of like the day to day, how it's set up, and all that. Um, so um, basically, the way that this works is, as you saw in the presentation, there's some chapters and labs, and the focus here is going to be about the professionals. Um, and so if you go to our website for the professionals, you can read all about it. You can get all the information you need there. Um, so basically, you have these three chapters: prosthesis, corpuscle, and kinesis. And through those chapters, you'll be pretty much story building and world building, um, through the lens of characters, their dwellings, and their kind of transportation. And you'll be using various tools along the way, primarily various AI tools, as well as tools you'll create, and then the kind of standard industry tools such as Blender and ZBrush, Rhino, Grasshopper, and Houdini. Those will be like kind of the core focus through these chapters. And um, the way that this starts is we start in the artificial intelligence lab, where we really make use and learn all the kind of various AI tools. And the kind of core goal of that is to create and define your story and narrative, um, by using AI tools to your advantage. Now, it's not that the AI tools are going to produce the final result for you. What we're doing here is resulting kind of inspiration, references, and a story so that you can guide and aim the rest of your work towards. Um, and so that's kind of like where it starts. And then we move into the prosthesis, where you're first developing the kind of character of your world. And this teaches you a lot about 3D modeling, portion control, and meshes and texturing and all the kind of basic fundamentals about kind of 3D. Um, Now, as we move through the chapters, you have these other labs here, kind of peppered through the program at key moments to provide you with a boost of skills at that moment. We have the visualization lab, which will teach you how to how to visualize things, how to set up renderings, how to render in various software, and not just rendering, but also to have a kind of artistic, curated eye for visual style and good aesthetics, um, as well as introduction of AI to enhance and overlay your design. Again, here the AI isn't like your result. You're using AI, with your results and over top of your results, because the designs are kind of all going to come from you. Um, so then we move into corpuscle chapter, which is about like creating the environment and the dwelling and units of your character and their specific needs. And then you have the kinesis chapter, which is about their vehicles, their mobility, their networks and transportation systems. Now, where this differs from the masters is that we don't have chapter 4 cosmogony, chapter 4 amalgamation. And so amalgamation is kind of going to be, pieces of it are going to be tied into the corpuscle at a smaller level, which is about like once you have these kind of units, how do we kind of cluster them and kind of develop them into bigger things. So pieces and parts of that chapter are folded into the corpuscle folder, corpuscle at a smaller scale. And then we don't have cosmogony, which is kind of an expansion out from kinesis, which takes your kind of network out to a bigger level. And what we are doing is also folding that a bit into kinesis, but making use of AI to look at your kinesis, look at your transportation systems, and kind of using AI to imagine and expand that system out to a global scale. So even though it's not the masters and you don't have those two other full chapters, you're not completely like missing them. They are kind of folded into these chapters in their kind of important aspects. And then for the labs that you're missing, the robotics lab, robotics lab is a really fun lab with building robots, but it doesn't necessarily tie one-to-one to the program. So in terms of relevance to like your specific project, there's not anything missing there. And for the virtual reality lab, where you would in the masters be using Unreal Engine, in this lab here, we'll be making those final videos again by AI and automated tools. So again, folding the concepts into these labs and chapters that are kind of more expanded in the masters. So that's really the difference there. You still have the optional labs here in the professionals of the career blueprints, where you'll learn how to set up your portfolios, how to act during interviews, and how to market yourself, as well as our industry partnership collaborations with companies like Logitech, Microsoft, and Abrina. You can see on our website our partners in this program, as well as getting an answer for all the various Q&As you might have. I'd also like to recommend on our website that you take a look at our selected alumni, which are all of our past master's graduates. Again, we haven't done the professionals yet, so everyone here is about the masters, but the programs are similar, so you can click any of them and see about their experience of the program and the kind of workflow that we have. And then you have here some master's finale videos and just some boards there. Now, the primary way that this works is, let me go here to our Miro. So the majority of the program, work-wise, is on Miro. So we have Miro and then a software like Teams for communications, daily communications, and meetings. But the work primarily happens in space like Miro, collaborative work boards. And we pretty much, we have every lab and every chapter split up, and each of those is split up into two. There's a work in progress board and a final board. And so I'm going to go to the board of our masters, the Lab 01, which used to be called Concept, but now it's Artificial Intelligence. So if I go to that board, I'll just bring that over here because I already have it loaded up. This is kind of like the very first thing we do in the program, the first week or so. is where you are pretty much defining what you're going to be after and pushing towards for the entire program. And we start with the five main story point elements, which are plot, setting, character, point of view, and theme. And through this week, you're writing and rewriting and editing kind of what these things are about your story, your setting, your character, the point of view of your story, and the theme. Now, again, all of this is just to guide you into generating a direction, right? So that you're not just kind of the entire course just aimlessly producing computational and parametric things. It's to kind of guide you in your journey on what you should be doing. And so as you're creating these pieces of story, you're also generating images and videos, based on those descriptions and writings to help you, again, for the story guides. Um, and then the result of that is that you have this kind of story here. So, each student has like a story from that, as well as a visual story, which tells, your written story, but tells it through images, right? And so you can see that for, each student here um, has done that basically. So again, plot, setting, character, point of view, theme, generating writing about that, generating imagery, reference imagery, and then a short story, as well as that story told through AI images and video. So that's kind of like the start, and then we go to the chapters, and I'll show here. I will show the. Let me go back here. I'll show the corpuscle chapter. So for each chapter, we start with a work in progress board. So let me pull that up here for that. So this is the corpuscle work in progress board, which is the kind of living space. So you can see how this looks. Each board is from a different student or team. And we always start each work in progress board where in the middle you have exactly written what it's about, and you have exactly one-to-one written what will be the deliverables. So you'll never be left guessing about what am I doing, what should I be doing, what's the goal. Right from the start of every chapter, you have the deliverables. You know exactly what you need to reach and what you need to make and how much of those things you need to make, as well as many examples and past student examples too. So you have some references, and it just makes it all much easier to kind of know what's the goal. And so each student spends the time of that chapter um, designing and developing the kind of goal of that chapter. Now, we can see if I go to the lab, just as an example, because this was Lisa's project here, you can see how much the kind of story building and world building influenced, even just in the color scheme, influence the kind of results, right? Obviously, they're not one-to-one because you're not just making AI images and calling that your project, right? It's about influence and inspiration and guidance. And then we get to, for instance, the corpuscle, which you can see the previous chapter for, which was also the prosthesis, but you can see the kind of inspiration and guidance that provided into the real project and the real goals, with all work actually made by the student. So that's kind of like the kind of story-driven element there. And so through the course of that chapter, the way it works is that usually a beginning week or so of tutorials where you watch online tutorials that we've pre-recorded, and then the rest of the weeks you have on and off weeks. Off weeks are weeks where you're just working. On weeks are where you're meeting with your tutor every day and reviewing the work and getting specific feedback and help on your project. So yeah, so you get this whole kind of weeks of work all documented. Let's take a look here. You can see all the in progress work, all the documentation, all the kind of notes and editing from the with the tutors and the conversations. We do a lot of live sketching and live notes and all that. And then eventually you get to the final of that chapter, which I'll go here, which pretty much is a presentation board, right? And it has the final work of that chapter laid out in a nice organized way with the requirements and deliverables. And you make a presentation about that chapter. And you can see that also for all the other students here. And so with that mentioned, I just want to mention that on our YouTube, youtube.com/DesignMorphine, of course, we have all the free webinars, which are the hot item right now. But if you go to our playlists, you will see that actually we have for each past year's masters, like if I go to 24, 25, if I view the full playlist, you can actually see the final presentation of every one of those chapters. So you can see the students' work and if I just click this, and you can see each student's work and their presentations about that work and their feedback. So keep that in mind, because again, there's the masters, but the masters and professionals are pretty similar in this regard. So that's how it kind of works in Miro. And again, you have a board for each work in progress board and a final board for each chapter. You have the lab boards, and then you have various other boards that are like the career blueprint now communications wise in the day-to-day happens in a place like Teams. So this is Teams, if you don't know it, that basically we have a kind of thread running for each chapter and each lab. And it's a kind of daily thing, usually us posting in it, people replying. And then we also have chat as well, and we have like a separate kind of chat with each student or team and our team for the day-to-day stuff. So you can see here other students and other tutors responding and corresponding on like the day-to-day thing. And like Evelina had mentioned in her presentation, it's kind of like 24 hours, not meaning that you need to be there 24 hours, but that because we're kind of worldwide and our educators are worldwide and our students are worldwide, usually if you have a question, there's usually someone around to help at kind of all times. Just pretty much works out that way. So you go through and you have, all this kind of correspondence for these specific things. Now, the other important thing is, again, what you have in the professionals, it might not be one-to-one. I'm just showing you exactly how our last master's was set up. But you'll have in some way a format of important links. We don't need to go through all of this now because this is really for like when you're in the program. But the important ones to take a look at is the software. So you'll be provided with an Airtable that has all the software we'll be using in the program. and where to get it, and various information about it. So you'll know exactly what you need, where to download it, how to get it. The other important Airtable is the tutorials Airtable. Um, so this Airtable will have every tutorial that you need for the program, and it will have when to watch it. So, for instance, if I come here, these are the tutorials for chapter one. Now, a lot of it you'll see intro. So intro tutorials are smaller tutorials that are like very basic, and they're not from us. They're like our curated selection from YouTube. The main tutorials, which are saying full, these are from our tutors that are like mandatory to watch, and they're the full tutorials about it. So you'll see, like, for instance, on the intros, you'll see they only if you don't know the basics, this kind of stuff. But these ones are our main ones. So if I go to, for instance, this prosthesis tutorial about ZBrush specifically for our prosthesis, if I go there, you'll see that it will bring up the video of that tutorial. And this is a specially made tutorial for the program, for the students of the program, to learn specific skill. And those you usually watch in the week before you start meeting with the tutors of that program. So you can see here, um, when to watch. You'll watch those, and then you'll start, designing and meeting with your tutors. Um, the other aspect of this that I want to mention, that's kind of like new with this professionals, is the kind of stronger introduction of AI. But again, AI in a way that complements and enhances and helps work, not just AI as the final output of your work. And a major aspect there that we're going to be looking at in the AI lab, artificial intelligence lab in the beginning, and will be kind of a recurring theme throughout, is the ability to make your own kind of library of tools and own software as well, software pieces as well, to specifically tackle problems you might have in your design itself. So of course you'll be using all the expected softwares, as we mentioned: Blender, ZBrush, Rhino, Grasshopper, Houdini. But you'll also learn how to create your own solutions and your own tools, which are AI tools, and your own like kind of library of those. This is my personal GitHub repository of a bunch of tools I've been just messing with, making 100% made with AI, which you'll learn how to do and curate and make and build your library. I'll just click one of these, for example. This one here was a tool I made, again, 100% prompted in AI, which has all, this is about cells and manipulating those cells, and propagating those cells, this kind of stuff. And the real power about, if you understand the AI correctly, which we'll teach you, and how to work with it correctly, you can just make so many tools that you might specifically need for your project that are really easy, and make them quickly too. Like something like this, I believe I fully prompted in AI in like a few hours, to get this. I mean, so I think this is going to be like a really important part of the program, as well as kind of learning how to rely on your ideas and get them out as tools specific for you. your project and how to build that library and to build that kind of confidence to build tools just by using language. Here's another one, which was like this kind of spatial thing, which was really cool. Make all these kind of spaces. Again, another thing built in a few hours of prompting. And I think that pretty much wraps up my end of it in terms of how that professionals program goes, and why we feel it's relevant and important, and we're really excited about it. And all the advancements in technology in the past year have made it possible for us to be able to create this more condensed program and still get the same quality of output. Thank you. Maybe we should move on to the students
Yes,
and
perfect.
alumni.
Thank you. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for the extensive overview, Mike. That's really amazing, like to see exactly like how everything is working. I was like answering some of the questions, so super excited like to see like there is a lot of interest and a lot of questions. We'll answer some of them like also like after we have like our chat like with our alumni. So I will just introduce like some of the alumni that joined us today. Super excited to see them. We have with us today Eva Hefes. She's an educator and alumni of our program. Tung and Gwen, he's like an educator in the program as well. They were the core leads of the program. Super excited to see them both. We have with us Nadia Kutireva. She's also like our PhD candidate with DesignMorphine, and she's also an educator in the program. She's leading the lab about like portfolio, career blueprint, and like all that portion. She's also our alumni from the first year of the Master of Science. We have with us also Maria Soroko Tsupa. She's also an educator and our alumni. We have Laura Civetti, like she's really an amazing designer, fashion designer, and she has like probably like a lot to share with us about her endeavors with 3D printing. Juice Heffers, like he's like we saw him actually like a couple of weeks ago, like here in Portland. Super excited to see him here again. Fatma Farag, haven't seen you in a while, Fatma. Super excited to hear what you've been, like going on with your life. And Clark Chang, thank you all for like joining us, guys. So yeah, like I don't know if you, one second, just give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I see like some familiar faces. Just want to like hear how you guys are doing. What are you up to these days? Like how is summer treating you?
It was so interesting to see overview of the program. It's kind of very happy flashbacks what we were doing back then. It was so fun.
Yeah. If you've forgotten basically like like what you were up to a couple of years ago. Well, for you, like what is like 5 years almost.
Yeah, because some of us were the very first year. We didn't know what we are signing for. And seeing again the whole process is like, yeah, that was exactly like that. It was really fun.
Yeah. Well, now the good thing is that also we have like two different programs, like different levels of commitment that we were able like to share a little bit more insight about that because we've had a lot of questions about it. But yeah, like Nadia, I wanted then like I'll start with you. I
Okay.
wanted to ask you about your experience with design morphing. I know that like we've stayed in touch like personally because he's here as well in Portland. You were part of Nike as well, like like in the team like I was working with. So I'm just like excited to hear about like your perspective and your trajectory and like how like why are you like so committed to design morphing and now like also like going through the PhD program as well?
For me, thanks for that. Yeah, for me, the experience that I get through DesignMorphine was life-changing multiple times because my background is architecture and interior design. And when I moved, originally I'm from Russia and I moved to US, I realized that I don't want to be on an architectural path anymore. And I was trying to find a way how to make my career shift. And the DesignMorphine program really helped me to navigate not only how to make this switch, but also understand what I want from my career and how I want it. So for me, it was, and also it was kind of mid-pandemic. So for me, it was like perfect moment where I could think about how I want to um, what I wanted to do, and I wanted to switch more to industrial design and computational design, and also how I can quickly build a strong portfolio. And Design Morphine program is ideal for that because we tried so many different softwares, so many different workflows. It was before AI, but still, there was like every cutting edge technology that we can try. And each of one, and including me, decided what is interesting for me specifically. And I always loved storytelling. I always loved world building. So the program itself, it's like just for me personally, it was just so ideal match how I want to do it. And I was blessed with amazing partner in my group, and we had a blast. It was very interesting year. We learn and support each other through career shifts. And at the end of the program, I started to work at Nike with Pavlina, and everything that I learned in the program was like 100% usable and on my next stage. So I think it's from design point of view, amazing tool to sharpen your design vision. And from practical point of view, if you use it right, this program, it's amazing career step like ladder that help you to focus your vision and do what you want to do. And now I'm at Hoka in innovation, another performance footwear brand, where again, like even 5 years later, everything that I learned, it's helped me to keep this innovative, future forward thinking. So I'm grateful to this program, and I will be grateful for this program, and I will tell everybody who can listen to me how amazing this program is, because it's really is, especially. But the only thing that I would say, it's require your internal focus, like because the program is so interesting but at the same time intense. So if you know what you want, this program will support you and give you what you want. So this is why I always tell people, think what you want and use it and use this program, because the way how it's structured, the way how tutors work with students, they not tell you what to do. They help you to do what you want to do. So the key component is
That's
think,
amazing to hear.
yeah.
But you didn't know you're going into footwear afterwards.
No, but honestly, like I had a list of companies that I want to apply for after the masters, and Nike was like seven-ish. So I
Okay.
did. So because I thought like, okay, it's unreachable, like from architecture to footwear. At that point, when I did this list, I was like, it's too kind of far. Turn out it's actually short path. And it makes total sense for me now. And turn out that I love footwear, and suddenly I start to run, and now I'm a runner because everything is pile up, and yeah, and it's all maybe even that I start to run because of Design Morphine because I'm in performance footwear. So
It's all
I
because
will
of Design
assign
Morphine.
any achievement of my life. And also now I'm doing, as Paulina mentioned, I'm doing PhD with Design Morphine because again, it's the way how design morphing community work and think that it's like your design vision, your philosophy as a designer, that's the most important thing. And through my PhD, I again exploring what is important for me. And the guys, my mentors, they're very supportive and help me to structure my thoughts and give me feedback and make me a better designer.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm curious, about one question, maybe what is something that surprised you, coming into the program? Because I guess everything was a surprise for, especially for the first year, because you guys in a way shaped how the program, started, and the vision, we were really building everything together in a way, with our students. So I'm just curious, what was something that was unexpected in a way, for you, coming into this experience?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think. I probably surprised how much you can achieve in 9 months because sometimes I open my portfolio and I see my work and it's like I can't believe that we built it because it's amazing. But I don't remember like yes, we contributed to the program and did our homework every day, but I didn't remember that it was that amount of work. So maybe it was in the moment. I don't remember right now. But every time I open our story, that's like the whole world is like a movie, and still I'm amazed that we did it. And not only our project, but the project of my teammates and peers, because the level of work, I didn't expect that we can do that. And next year, outdone us, like crushed us. They were even better, and the next year even more better. So that's probably the most surprising thing. Like if you have dedicated people, amazing things happen.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, and for, your kind words and support, they always mean so much, to us. And we're happy to see, exactly, your path, because, you're already, changing a couple of times, your path, the industry is the same now that you're in, but I'm glad to hear also that it applies to, such a also high level, because, you're innovation, but, you're a principal now. So, you're really, fighting your way through, really getting amazing opportunities in the footwear field. So thank you so much for sharing your path with us. Means
Thank
a
you,
lot.
guys.
And from footwear, let's go to fashion design with Laura Civetti. I can see you, Laura. How you're doing?
Ciao. Hi, Paulina.
Hello, where are you
Hi,
now?
Hi, everybody. I'm back in Italy again. So I was doing the master in Italy, then I moved in Spain, and then I moved back in Italy. So
That's really
I'm here
nice.
for now.
We saw
And
some very exciting projects that you were doing with Stratasys. What have you
yeah,
been up to in the last year or so from when we had catch up? I'm really curious. I'm really
yeah.
excited to always see this information and posts.
I got stuck in chapter 1. You can see
That's it.
that was my
That's the
favorite.
best one.
Yeah, at least for me it was. No, well, back to the master. I'm really happy to see all of you guys. I'm really enjoying the master. For me, it's been a jump on a black hole, I have to say. I'm a designer, and deeply related to additive manufacturing. So for me, it was important to be realistic, and doing design morphing gave me the opportunity to be free somehow, to be out of my comfort zone. So I push a lot myself. I have to say that has been crazy enough and brave enough to be solo team. And maybe at the end of the master, I kind of regret it, have to say, because as Nadia was saying, it's really tough, but beautiful in some times. And if you have a great partner to, join the effort and join the joy, it's amazing. So being solo has been okay, but maybe with a team, I will be a bit better. Yeah, so also I would like to say that the master is fully online, and when I was talking with friends and colleagues about that, someone was kind of, how is online, you don't have the same feeling. I have to say that you create such a great network and community that I didn't feel the line during all the masters. And I have to say that when we met in New York and then in Italy, in Pininfarina, we feel, I mean, I feel in a kind of family, right? So I really enjoy everything. Yeah, so after also as Nadia was saying, my skills after the master gave me opportunity to enter at Nagami. So I really enjoy all the modeling with Maya, Blender, and Houdini that really helped me on the second part of my professional life, let's say. So I joined a Nagami at the time with additive manufacturing company, but all the post part, all the design part is made also in Maya. So I was joined the team as a Maya with the Maya.
See, yeah, that's very interesting you're sharing this, because we're also getting a lot of these questions about like how does it, like apply to reality, real product, right? Like, because like we see like all this like very cinematic projects, like pushing the boundaries, like of design, like it feels that it's more like, like grounded in animation and visual effects rather than like in reality. But then we see like how, again, like from like Nagami or even the footwear industry, architecture, engineering, they do see the work in the portfolios and do appreciate it, because they can see the translation between like the skills. It's not a question for them, like seeing something that it's so out there that you are able then like to bring it back and to really solve for real constraints, right? And that's like very much like where you are in your day to day.
Yeah. But also I think during the master, what it's past 4 years, 3 years, I don't know much time, but I have to say that what you get more than hard skill are the soft skills. So the ability to jump from one software to another, the ability to create a storytelling that it's, in any project you have a storytelling and you have the ability to take everything together. I remember when I joined the company, I was super fast on everything, because after DesignMorphine, you're just fast on making and producing a lot. And then my colleague was saying me, slow, Laura, slow, don't worry. But you get a really soft skill. I have to say that this is something that I take with me still today. So I'm really appreciative for that. Yeah,
That's
and today I'm opening my own studio. So that I was really connected to the fashion, at least to the body scale. Was really related to data, computational design, and integrating data to the design workflow. So today I jump another black hole, opening my own studio. And my latest project has been a collaboration with Stratasys, where I make physical something that was digital. So it's called adaptive system. Is a garment that is displayed body data as a sweat map, curvature body, and the reflection of sun to a geometry and material property. So I'm really happy for that. And now but just to push it forward.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Laura. Like, we would be glad, like, if you can share a link, maybe, like, of this project, like here, like, for some of the students also to see, because, like, I know it's like super exciting and it's very new. So it was really great to see, because like Stratasys is definitely like one of the top firms when it comes to 3D printing, and also like such amazing experimental like designers have collaborated with them, like McQueen and Dior, and like it's just such an amazing honor, like to be able like to work like on such a like amazing like level, really, like they are just like perfection, so super excited for you.
Thank you.
I'll ask you one final question. One part of the program challenged you the most? Maybe like not so much like on the technical side, but like personally or creatively, like because like you were talking about the soft skills. So I'm very curious about like, how did you feel you grew, like as a designer in that space?
The difficult part about this, you mean?
Like the soft skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. What challenged you?
Sorry.
Like what,
Ah,
like how did you grow in that space? Like how do you feel that like you grew in that space and like soft
yeah,
skills? Like how did you feel that like you grew a little bit more personally? Like maybe you gained
yeah,
like more confidence like in yourself, like
yeah, yeah. What I said before. I mean, what make fast decision, and for fast decision, make close the loop somehow. That's something that I remember from a chapter, and I was, you know, so sometimes you can't eat something that I learned, and it really helped me on professional life. You can't iterate further. You must to do a stop, and the ability to give that stop, it's what makes you a not good designer, but at least you can go forward. So I I really learned to stop and carry on. Don't worry, you can make it later. So the fast decision has really helped me so much. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, Laura. Like, thank you for the sweet words. And I really hope like we meet again very soon because
Yeah.
it's been a while. But yes, we met you in person in New York, in Italy, and also in Sofia. So like it
It's
was really
true.
fantastic. Like, like that we were able like to meet on so many different places. So hopefully the next, endeavor, like you'll be able to be there as well with us.
Sure. Thank you, Evelina.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Laura. Amazing. So since we got like a little bit like of the manufacturing aspect, like Clark, I don't know, like if you're around. Ah, yes, I can see you. How are you doing?
I'm
Hey.
good. I'm good. I mean, yeah, I mainly work in the manufacturing sector as well. So a lot of mine
Yeah.
is. But I guess like how the program affected me, after graduating, a lot of the skill sets that I learned were really applicable to the job that I was in. So I did a lot of design work with castings and 3D printing as well. So a lot of those were Houdini based as well. So a lot of procedural, computational type of designs that were needed that were really hard and like normal like Rhino modeling that I guess normal people can't do is the way I'll put it. So it made it like a very sought after skill set. So a lot of these skills that you learn in the program are very applicable. You just have to like market it and advertise in a way that show them the efficiencies on how it can be done. Like one project I work on, for example, it's in DC now that it's finally built. Um, it was all done in Houdini as well as ZBrush. So those type of skill sets are really hard to come by, especially with Houdini, because I was in the team. I was the only one that knew how to do it, so I was the only one that was being able to handle the file and actually collaborate with the clients and the freelancers and coordinate with other aspects as well. So the program does set you up for how to use these softwares, but I guess how I see it is up to you on how you use it creatively. That's, the software does something, but how can you use it? And some people do it for gaming, some people do it for, visual effects, or even manufacturing, but it's just how you use the tool. Like a certain tool does something, but how can you use it to benefit you or, advertise or something that you see in a different perspective? And that's kind of what I gained out of the program, from the technical aspects and the soft skills and the technical skills as well. So yeah,
Fantastic. You were in this industry before coming into the program as well. So like
yes,
in your like space, it was more like gaining like more advanced skill, like to feel, like that you can contribute more. And again, like create those efficiencies as you were saying and really push the boundaries from what I understand.
exactly. And a lot of the skills that I came in the program already having a pretty extensive Rhino and Grasshopper skill set. So that's something I wasn't really there to learn. Of
Yeah.
course, it does help, but it wasn't something I was seeking. Uh, and a lot of the work that we kept getting were a lot more like mesh based, to put it simply, or even just more like procedural based that would be really difficult in Rhino and Grasshopper, as well. So these type of skill sets complement each other. It's just how you will, and I will say that one program doesn't do all. So you have to kind of almost, I won't say reinvent, but invent a workflow that works for this very, let's say, specific system. It depends. Every project is always so different in artwork as well. So you just kind of have to figure out which series of programs or which series of sets will do the best. Like Rhino may be best at X, while Houdini is best at this. And how do you use it? Because And professionally, I wouldn't just only use Houdini or only use Rhino and only use Grasshopper. I would merge all of them together at some point or have a specific workflow on how I would use it. A very
Yeah.
simplistic one is just like checking meshes for 3D printing and making sure they're close and closing them and making sure that it reached a specific poly count for the vendor so they can read our file. So very simple stuff, but stuff that can be automated.
Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. And then that's the interoperability like aspect of the program, right? Like because like you're jumping like from, like different software like and mindsets like through the chapters. One, like you have the, like the different scale that you're exploring that it's different, but also like you are getting challenged with like, the next level of like challenge of like how to take it on and like what to learn, how it connects with the previous and even the next, like idea, not only on the design level, but as you're saying, like on the software and like how it really like works together. One question for you, Clark, like looking back, what transformation stayed with you the longest? Maybe like a skill, mindset, confidence, a new direction?
I would say like, I guess taking direction is was difficult for me. Like I would have a lot of ideas, but it'd be hard to kind of solidify what is the best for the project or what is best for even from a technical perspective, because we have time limits as well. There's no forever projects, sadly. Even in professional work, we have budgets. So, so I feel like that was kind of the hardest thing or for me to overcome, but something that I learned through the program as well on just like you just got to do it. You got to get it done. Um, but the project I mentioned before, I never got to like finish it fully through because unfortunately I got laid off due to economic strains that happened in the beginning of last year. But I was able to see the project through at least being finished. But it's given me opportunities to like being in DesignMorphine has helped me get opportunities and connections and things like that. So I've been able to travel and you know and be able to kind of freelance and work remotely and do a lot of different things that I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't have those skill sets. So I had opportunities to live in different countries and different places. So without them, I wouldn't be able to have like these type of skill sets to be able to advertise in order to have the, I guess, privilege, have that mobility.
Yeah, no, that's
So,
fantastic. Like where did you go? I've heard something about Turkey.
without too long, I was in, so I lived in New Zealand for 6 months. So I was a Kiwi for 6 months, and then I lived in back in Taiwan to get my citizenship, since I am native Taiwanese. And then I went to Turkey for 3 months, and then I went back again for another month after this year, and then I went to Iceland, and now I'm in Prague. So, so
Okay.
or I'm just in different places in my world. So, but
Living the life.
I wouldn't say living the life, but I'm doing something. But with that being said, like the skill sets that I do learn from this program really helped project me forward in order to like, deal with, overcoming certain obstacles as well, like work and things like that. And how fast I need to do something because speed does matter in the industry for sure, and something that shouldn't be ignored. So I was able to kind of use those kind of skill sets to overcome a lot of difficulties. I could be like, that's not so bad. It could be a lot worse. So I was like, okay.
Do you utilize any AI workflows now, like especially like since now, it's such a big thing and like things are changing, there are so many updates.
It's kind of hard to keep up with everything since it's such fast moving, but generally it's mainly for learning coding in like C Sharp, and Grasshopper. That's kind of my main endeavor now, is
Yeah.
creating plugins, and Rhino and Grasshopper plugins is something that I was kind of interested in always in a long time, but it helps me like understand better. It's not writing it for me per se. It's more just like trying to understand how it works. And
Right.
I've gotten to the point where I've actually corrected it sometimes, which makes me feel a lot better. So, but no,
That's
it's a
fantastic.
very, I do use it in my workflow. I wouldn't say a ton, but I do use it when I am struggling on something and I just
Yeah.
need someone to bounce ideas with and argue with if I don't think it's right either.
Sounds like a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Clark. Like,
Yeah,
it's
of course.
really great to see you and to hear more like from you and your path. And, thank you for sharing and for being part of the Design Morphing family.
Yeah, of
And I really
course.
hope to see you around. Like, like I really miss you guys.
I'll be in Bulgaria in like a couple months, probably, actually.
See?
It's so
Perfect.
close to Turkey. I just take a bus.
Perfect.
So I'll be there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Clark. Amazing. You, Stacy, you also like here in one of the windows, you're popping out. How are you doing like after your US tour?
Yes, hey. I got sick.
Oh no.
So that's going on right now. Getting healthy again, but yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to be home. That's perfect. I'm curious to hear a little bit more about your story. I know that you just had graduated architecture, like you didn't have like any previous experience like in computational design before like joining us. But I feel that you have a very interesting trajectory as well, and especially now with the new role that like you're undertaking, which again, like it's a little bit like more unconventional, like as a path. So I'm just like very curious to hear a little bit more about like your experience,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I left the field of architecture and computational design and all that stuff completely, and animation. And I've been going all in on this whole AI stuff for maybe a year now. Like I have applied the innovative mindset DesignMorphine teaches quite well, and didn't hesitate to explore new technologies. And so I'm all in on, I don't know, vibe coding, or well, if it's a bit more professional, it might be called agentic engineering or something like that. But I'm basically building stuff with AI right now, and also doing a ton of visuals with AI. So I'm working part-time in a packaging agency, but we're doing advertisements for our customers. And the other part of my work time, I'm a freelancer, also doing all kinds of advertisements, but also building MCP servers and all that stuff. And I think through DesignMorphine, I actually learned the flexibility to stay open to all different kinds of workflows and technologies, and not be tied too much into like one program or something. I'm not like the super specialist Rhino user or 3D printing guy, but I can do everything basically, and that's quite an advantage sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And especially like again, like I think that your curiosity with AI and especially like marketing, right? Like
Yeah.
that's something that it's like very interesting, like to see like how you navigate like from architecture to computational design to,
Yeah.
like AI for like a totally different field. And it's that, like curiosity, as you're saying, like it's great like to see like how confident you feel in your own, like skills and yourself, like
Yes.
just to be able, like to move and like freely and to see like what the next chapter for you means, which is really great. And
Yes,
what
for sure.
part of the program really you feel that like challenged you the most?
Mm,
There was a lot of learning like through it, I know. So that's why I was
yes.
like curious like to know like which one like was the one that like for you it was, the biggest obstacle that like you feel that like you were able to overcome.
Mm, that's a good question. I would say the most difficult thing. There were a lot of things that were quite challenging. I mean, the strict timelines, the the deadlines were a pretty huge thing. Actually learning, okay, I now have to do stuff and not just like wander around and explore. I mean, of course, that's part of the design process, but then coming to a solution, I think was a huge learning. Yeah, time
Yeah.
management, but also just the international aspect was really interesting, like seeing how different design approaches are coming together from different cultures and stuff. That was interesting as well. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the
Many
day,
things.
it was 9 months of a really intense learning experience. Like also all the programs and design stuff as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't really pinpoint one thing. There was like a ton of things.
Yeah, and after completing the program, what did you start seeing maybe differently about design, work, or the future?
I think I noticed that I don't want to do the traditional path of going into a design field. Like I quickly noticed that innovation is the thing that really interests me. I don't want to be like the traditional architect who's designing toilets all the time, very broadly speaking. But I'm more interested. Like I've worked on hydrogen fuel cells for a bit. I've worked on self-driving cars, and all that stuff was really interesting. And that's what's really interesting about design for me. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you apply your skill set in the self-driving car? See, like the mobility aspect of it. Like you're now stuck in chapter 3 or 4. Depends on how you take
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I left the startup by now, but it was, I think I have applied almost every aspect of the program in that job. Like I've did a ton of 3D modeling for parts of the car. Like it was built from the ground up. So building 3D models, optimizing 3D models for structural components. Like simulation was a huge part of the car. Then preparing the 3D prints, printing, visualizing stuff. So I basically took every part of the program and applied it in some way at least.
Yeah.
Did some particle simulation even. So that was
Oh,
pretty
perfect.
neat.
So it is like everything really, like
Yes.
so that's really nice. Well,
Yes.
like I really wish you all the best with the new endeavor. I'm really curious, like
Thank
to
you.
learn more about it and like what this, like new chapter entails. So we'll keep in touch and, like
Yes.
we'll speak more. But thank you so much for sharing news and for being part of DesignMorphine.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll see you again in Portland when you come back.
Yeah, I hope so too. Let's see when it happens.
Fantastic. Thank you. Fatma, how are you doing?
Hey, Pavlina. Hey, Tsatsi. It's been a while.
Yes, congratulations on the wedding. That's the last I've heard. Oh.
Thank you. He's like sitting somewhere around. And by
That's
the
so
way,
sweet.
DesignMorphine was like in our first chats. I spent like 9 hours nonstop just trying to explain like my like masters, and he was hooked, I think. So I have DM to like thank for this. That's so weird.
There's a working a matchmaking service as well. Match made in heaven. You're not the only one we've heard.
We have always been like that, I think since 2014, it was always a comment somewhere that we are matchmaking place.
Yeah. It's just like explaining jellyfish people and like these interesting architecture, and I'm like, it's like architecture but on steroids. Also, so many other things. And he's like, what? I like that. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. So nice. Thank you so much for sharing. What have you been up to? Like, how are things in your world?
I'm focusing right now. I'm focusing on academia, but more experimental. I actually spent a year. I started. Okay, so like DesignMorphine just gave me like confidence, and like it just like made me love design again, because I was like over it for a bit, because I felt like once I graduated normal architecture school that we didn't have like, it was all, it's like very rigid compared to what we had in the beginning of architecture design school. So it was very disappointing. And then when I entered DesignMorphine, I found that love for design, refound it. Yeah, and it was so fun and super hard, of course, like I was learning everything from scratch. So I was like, of course, and I was also like Flora, I was just a one person group. So I was learning so much, but also through that, I was like, wow, I can learn all this new tech stuff and wow, it makes sense. So it just gave me so much power in what I did later on, either through like redesigning courses in my alma mater, like I teach at the American University in Cairo. I still teach there, but I keep changing up the courses. I'm like, every semester is a brand new challenge. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do all types of fabrication. We're gonna like, let's build in space this semester. Let's build underwater. Let's do whatever. And like, of course, I'm lucky to have like a professor who understands this mentality, who I kind of co-teach with. But I also work in a lot of research labs in university as well. So I'm focusing this summer on robotic fabrication with a bit of biomaterials and vernacular materials. So it's like localizing this tech in a sense. So yeah, and also I worked professionally for a bit in a startup. I started a design department from scratch and I operated as a one-woman team. And I actually sold to real estate, like concrete 3D printing, furniture, or a bit of R&D and stuff like that. And it was through DesignMorphine that I knew that I could do this on my own. And they wouldn't understand, like, wait, are you like designing? Are you like actually fabricating? Are you like doing the storylines and selling to the clients? And everything. I'm like, yeah, it's a piece of cake. I finished it. It's fine. But it was cool. And like once I got like I just sat there for a year. It's an Egyptian startup that does concrete 3D printing. And then I was like, once it started expanding a bit, I felt like it wasn't challenging anymore. And I was like, okay, on to the next. So I'm focusing back on a bit of research before I could start something else professionally. So I just like to go back and forth and experiment between, industry and academia, and sometimes even bring industry partners to academia so we could kind of like, bridge this gap. Because it's interesting, especially in Egypt as well, because even introducing like this new tech or even they don't even understand, like some of the people ask like what did you learn or like how did you learn this? And I'm like, okay, it's a series of things. And then when they see my portfolio, they're like, but this is AI. And I'm like, no, it's not. And
yes, now that's what we hear all the time. Everything is
yeah.
AI.
And I'm like, yo, it's not, I mean, AI is part of it, but it's really interesting. And I think actually I was the second like generation, second cohort. So we were starting with Mid-Journey in the very beginning was very interesting because it just launched, I remember like a couple of months before we started. So it was brand new for everyone. And even this way, like this method of incorporating AI and sketching and then modeling and like the circle, I try to teach that to my students to this day and just like humanizing it and making sense of it, because I feel like with like the smaller generations or the younger generations, they're kind of lazy. They're like, I could just AI it. I'm like, no, you can't. It's like it loses so much meaning. Like if you can't control it, it's just driving you. And I feel like through this rigorousness and using AI even in design morphine it helped a lot with that like mindset as well.
Exactly. Like, I think you're exactly like on point. It matters so much that you control, like, like the tool and not the tool controlling you. Because like we see that also in the industry, there is no point of view anymore. Like there's this urgency to get everything like out so fast. And there are like thousands of options, but always the question is like, what do you believe in, like as a designer? What are you standing behind? Like, what would you want to like see in the world? Like, like what it's your voice, like it's an expression of like who you are in a way. Like, so like that's like where this comes from, like this like intertwining of, as you're saying, like the reality and who you are and your drawings. And they were so beautiful. I remember like all the drawings in the book. Like I hope like you're keeping it, like, but yeah, exactly, like this interweaving of like multidisciplinary mindset and like again like the hand like connected to like the way you're thinking. It's like a very, very powerful tool.
And storytelling as well. I feel like because we're so oversaturated, even in either in the industry or with students, because I teach four-year, like fourth and fifth years, so they're so oversaturated with like a lot of constraints, obviously. And I teach like students in university who are still learning how to think computationally. So I'm teaching them computational mindset as well as, like all these new tools like with Rhino and Grasshopper for the first time. Sometimes I try to sneak in a bit of Maya or, a bit of Unreal, and I take so much backlash for it. And they're like, who added this? I'm like, me, because it makes sense. Trust me. But it's once they get the hang of it and they start with the storytelling and they go back and it just becomes more fun, they really grasp the information much faster. And I feel like this is untapped potential that we should definitely tap into. But like it should start in the beginning of the design, even like process, like from your first year actually, because I feel like it's a waste of time not to do this, honestly. I'm like trying to
Yeah.
change the entire 5-year plan, but like they're stopping me. Just give me a couple of more years and I'll change
I'm
things.
sure. I'm sure you'll do a great job. Like you just like disrupt the whole system. I can see that, and I love the energy. Like Fatma, thank you so much, like for sharing all this like amazing like story, and like it's just like great to hear. And I'm sure that like you're contributing so much into again like new ways of thinking, new ways of like exploring design in the world. So yeah, and I see the passion that you have for your own students. So that's really sweet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Batman. And we have also with us Maria Soroko-Tsupa. Hey, Maria, thank you for staying late for us. Like, what time is it now in Bali for you?
Oh, it's around 1 a.m., but
Oh boy.
I'm still alive. Happy to see you guys. Was missing you a lot.
Yeah, same here. Oh boy. How have you been doing? Like, I really wanted like for you like also to share some of the experience as a student, but also as an educator in the program, because like you're also like one of the, very, very pivotal people like starting like right in the beginning with chapter 1, like with the students. So I'm really curious like about like your, like view and like what the experience has been for you.
Yeah, I was a bit like nervous joining DesignMorphine because I had the architectural background, uh, and I was super noob to all this 3D software and all the techniques. I worked in parametric furniture area, but I was more about managing stuff and controlling the production, but not even joining the design part. And it was really interesting for me to get like how to do this all these beautiful things. And it was really challenging to learn all this software from scratch. It felt like, oh my God, how hard it should be, but it was so perfectly organized and structured. You always know what to do, where to find every tutorial. You always have a schedule. You never miss anything because you really have great structured information about all the parts. So you just need to go step by step and you'll reach the goal. And had a lot of support from other students, all the tutors, really amazing community. And I think I got so many like great people around me, a lot of friends from DesignMorphine, and all of the community is like on one wave in one industry, and it's so cool that you can, I don't know, discuss any type of project with so many people around you. Always so interesting to see how the life and the work journey goes. So yeah, the community is really the biggest the biggest part of DesignMorphine. So yeah, and finished the learning part. I was super happy to join you as a tutor. Was super happy and proud of me that I got like confident that I can do it. Yeah, and it's so cool to work with the students on that side, like as a tutor, and to help and navigate through the process of starting. Because the chapter with the character is the first one after the concept lab. So it's yeah.
So it's like where you actually like start to, like apply the initial, like knowledge, and like things are starting to shape. So I think it's like always like the most nerve-wracking like moment, because like the confidence is not there yet, and like it's a very like precious moment, I think, in the educational part, like when you're just like, that's the start of everything.
Yeah, yeah. Need a bit to push all the students, like, come on, you can do it. Just start. Yeah, but it's so cool to see how it goes, and how they start designing things, and they really achieve the sketches that they have with AI, and they really can do it in 3D, not with just AI tools, but with the hands.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that
really
that's the thing, like the combination of both, right? Like on like how to expedite the process, like iterate, like see like different options, but also, like manually like learn like to polygon model, and also like in your case, like you're like very much like teaching them like in ZBrush. So there is a lot of sculpting and detailing, which like brings out like the beauty of the characters.
Yeah, yeah. And all the students really go to their goals. It also doesn't matter what the background they have. All of the students really get like what they want to receive from this learning process. They usually achieve the goal.
Yeah, I wanted also to ask you about like the Microsoft Challenge, the hackathon, because like you were like working basically like with Laura, like and you were like a very small team, but very powerful team working like with the Microsoft team. So I just wanted you like to just share with us a little bit about this experience and how it was for you.
Oh, it was an amazing project. We had a lot of fun. We were talking, I think just days and days. We were online in a Zoom call, like unlimited Zoom call, and discussing all the project. Um, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we made most part with AI. But still there were some part that we created in Houdini with some parametric tools. So we created like a VR space for meetings, something like a metaverse, but inside Teams app, or like soft. So yeah, it was. I think it would be easier if we had at that time the codecs or cloud code. So, but yeah, at that time we had only like AI that creates video and pictures, but still we got really, I think, cool results, and showed the main idea of the spaces of the project.
How were you feeling like working with the professionals, like with, like basically like Microsoft, like employees, like as your teammates, like coming like immediately after the program?
We were more, I think, open-minded about the design and the visual part of it, because the Microsoft team were more about the technical aspects and like technical questions, like how it really will work. We were more about the design, that, oh, let's do that, let's do this, and try to like push the boundaries of let's make an unlimited things, and customization of that, and customization of avatars and the colors and the shapes. And they're like, oh, stop. let's do something more real. But yeah,
But
it
see,
was
what
really cool.
wasn't real 2 years ago, now it's like very, very real. So the mindset of like
Yeah.
pushing the boundaries and, like imagining like the world beyond like what was possible, like, like the story changes so fast, like with technology, it's really like, advancing. So it was really great.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question for you, like if you have like any advice for future students or any, like thing that like you would like to share.
Just be brave and join us. Yeah. The community and the knowledge is such an important thing that it can switch a lot in your life and your work journey. So yeah, it takes time to create all this project and to learn all this software and to make all this program, but it definitely the thing that can change a lot in your life.
Thank you so much, Maria, for being part of the team and the community, and I hope to see you soon as well.
Yeah,
I
thank
miss you guys.
Yeah, hope to see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing like your stories and your, like path. It's really amazing to see like how things are progressing. Like we've had now 5 years of students, so many different, like experiences through that time. So it's really amazing to see how everyone is carving their own paths. And that's always fantastic. I would like to open now the podium to the to our audience, like if we have like any questions that you would like to ask, and like I'm happy to answer them, like along with Svetlina and Michael, like we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. And also like if you have any questions for the guys that are still here, like I hope they won't be mind like to answer them as well.
When can MSc applicants expect to hear back about the enrollment?
Yeah, we're sharing that we have a deadline for early application for like the pro program, which is the 10th of June, and they will hear about that. As for the Master of Science, like we'll have to wait probably this month, and we should have like more information in July.
What spec recommendations for devices for a program can we use Mac? And the specs are on our website, the last QA recommended specs, and we don't recommend Mac because there are some softwares and plugins we use that don't necessarily work on Mac. So yeah, no, I would suggest no Mac. Okay, we already answered that. Let's see. Is there any requirements for applicants' backgrounds in terms of skills? No, there's no specific requirements. For the professionals, especially, you don't even need any kind of degree or anything like that. The master's has specific requirements about like types of degrees you already have in terms of bachelor's degrees and whatnot, which are um, written on the site and the application, but also it's kind of like at a per person basis. We'll look at your degrees and verify. But we need to see the degrees. And for professionals, there's no degrees or background at all required, and we teach everything. So most of our students come in don't really knowing much of any of this stuff. That's kind of the point of it, right? If you already knew it, you would join. So we'll teach you everything you need to know. The work that are covered in this course. Yeah. Can you please share some references related to building related work that are covered in this course? Any examples completed by your previous students after finishing the program? Well, you heard from some of our past students here and many others in all different kind of industries and fields using their skills in different ways in different places.
And also Laura shared the link from her work that was just recently published. So that's great to see.
Yeah. I think that's all the questions we have that I see that isn't duplicate.
Yeah.
So
I can also share maybe like, let's see, like the link from Lisa Maynes. Like she has also some really exciting work like that she's done after the program, more on the art side. And like she was creating this video for Ibiza. So I'll just like send the link as well for that one. For just, like to see like a couple of like examples of the work of the student. But obviously, as you can see, guys, like it's been like 5 years, so many alumni, so many different paths, so many different interests, like it's very difficult like to pinpoint because there's just not like one path like here. And I think that that's the beauty of it. That's what, we strived to create when we started this program. It came from a very personal space. Like we wanted to create basically like, like freedom of choice for our community and our students, and like for them to be able to navigate like whatever comes next, whatever, like their interests are, and, wherever the world goes next, like with technology, like to have that confidence to navigate it. And because I think that that's at the end of the day, it's like the beauty of design and life and community. So this program means a lot to us, and it means a lot like to our community, and we're just like very thankful for having like all of our alumni today with us, and also like to have like our guests today. And I hope that this session was like informative for you guys, like this open day. Please don't hesitate to reach out again, like set up some one-to-one time. Like it's really a pleasure for me. So let's continue the conversation and move like forward. And I'm very excited for the next academic year to start in September with the pro, and a little bit more info on the Master of Science will come soon. Since we are changing partnership, and as with all academic, like endeavors, like it takes a little bit of time. But again, like we'll keep in touch. Thank you all so much, really, for being here. So excited to have seen like so many familiar faces. All the best. Enjoy your summer, guys, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Take care.